Listening test. This test has 3 parts. In each part you'll hear a number of different extracts. At the start of each extract, you'll hear this sound. You'll have time to read the questions before you hear each extract, and you'll hear each extract once only. Complete your answers as you listen. At the end of the test you'll have 2 minutes to check your answers. Part A. In this part of the test, you'll hear 2 different extracts. In each extract, a health professional is talking to a patient. For questions 1 to 24, complete the notes with information you hear. Now look at the notes for Extract 1. Extract 1. Questions 1 to 12. You hear a physiotherapist talking to a patient called Martin Gregory. For questions 1 to 12, complete the notes with a word or short phrase. You now have 30 seconds to look at the notes.
Mr. Martin, what brings you here today?
Oh well, I had a reverse total shoulder arthroplasty surgery on my right shoulder 6 weeks ago, and I have a sling for the past 4 weeks. I've just been doing what the home health people tell me. I just can't lift anything. I have no shoulder hyperextension, and I just need to rehabilitate from that surgery.
So, you said that you can't lift things right now. How about what things does your shoulder keep you from doing that you'd like to do?
Well, pretty much anything is difficult. I can't hold anything that's heavier than a coffee cup, and I can't support my own body weight. I can't drive, and I can't really do many outdoor things like go fishing with my grandson and stuff. I also like to play catch with him. But I'm right-handed, and my shoulder hasn't allowed me to do that since I had my surgery. To be honest, I was having a tough time doing that beforehand.
Are there any other issues you face due to your shoulder, such as opening doors, or while navigating through your house?
Well, as long as I can do with my left shoulder, that's fine. But while doing anything, I just have kept my shoulder right here in the sling for most of the time. So I can't really do anything with that like putting on a shirt, and things are hard when you have to brush your teeth left-handed. It's kind of weird, as you don't do it often.
Yeah, I understand, Mr. Martin. That's hard. Well, I know you've had the surgery. Have you had anything else in your past, like a medical history?
15 years ago I had a rotator cuff repair. I have played a lot of tennis in high school, and in college, and I think doing all of that really put a lot of stress on my shoulder. So I had surgery on that, and then the past year, I have had increased pain, weakness and loss of range of motion in the shoulder here.
Now, I want to know more about your past. Do you drink?
I have a beer every once in a while.
Okay. How many times a week do you drink?
I just have a couple on Saturdays.
Okay. Do you smoke cigarettes?
I don't. I used to, but not anymore.
Okay, I'd also like to go through some other details, just to make sure everything else is fine. Have you had any history, or currently any problems with your heart?
I do have hypertension, but I take medication and that seems to take care of it.
What medications are you taking right now?
I'm taking 2 medications with some goofy names, NSAIDs and tenormin.
Okay, those are anti-inflammatory drugs. How often you take them?
Well, I'm supposed to take NSAIDs, 1 a day for pain, and tenormin, I think twice a day.
Do you live with your family?
Yes, with my wife Gretchen.
What is your occupation?
I was a school teacher for 28 years. So now, I mostly do stuff for leisure.
Okay, how much did you exercise before the surgery?
You know, I tried to get out, and we have a little dachshund, so I would get out and walk him every morning. I take him down to the high school, that's down from the house, and we do about a half mile on the track every day. It helps to kind of keep me limber.
Yeah, that's pretty good exercise. Now that you are moving a little bit, what do you think the pain is at right now, on a scale from 0 being no pain, 10 being the worst possible pain imaginable?
It kind of fluctuates. But, I would say most of the time, it's right around 4.
Okay, and does it ever get worse?
In the mornings, it's a little stiff, and that's probably the most painful. Sometimes, if I roll over in my sleep, and that doesn't feel very good.
Extract 2. Questions 13 to 24. You hear a dietitian talking to a patient called Naomi Myers. For questions 13 to 24, complete the notes with a word or short phrase. You now have 30 seconds to look at the notes.
Hello Naomi. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. My name is Aaron Kaminsky. I'm the registered dietitian here, and I understand that you were brought to me after a doctor's appointment that you've had. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
All right. Do you mind explaining to me how that appointment got you here today?
Yeah, sure. I went to the doctor's last week and we had done some tests and found out that I have very high cholesterol, and so I have an appointment with you today, because I would like to weigh out some of my options as opposed to immediately going on medication.
Okay, great. So we'll just get started by asking a few questions. What do you generally do to start off your typical weekday?
Well, depending on what day the week it is, I wake up between 6:30 and 7:30 in the morning. First thing I do is take a shower, brush my teeth, make a pot of coffee, get dressed, and usually after that I start my workday.
Alright, and what do you do for a living?
I have 3 jobs. On Mondays and Tuesdays, I do toxicology at County Medical Examiner's office for postmortem there. The rest of the week, I work as a lab technician at Belmont's Hospital. After an 8-hour shift each day, I go straight to Ruby in downtown, where I work as a bartender and a server.
Wow. So you definitely are keeping busy throughout the week. Do you think during all these busy work hours you had time for meals?
I do. I don't eat breakfast. It usually doesn't make me feel too well. I have my coffee as my breakfast. There's a lot of fast food places that I go to in between going to jobs or on my lunch break, like Taco Bell, Burger King. There's also a Subway next to one of my jobs. Usually when I get home from work, especially if I'm at Ruby, I'm always really hungry. So I'll grab some ice cream from Friendly's.
Okay, and on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most stressful, do you find yourself stressed working all these hours?
I would say, on a scale of 1 to 10, definitely close to a 10, around a 9.
Okay. So, you're stressed out, and do you think that has effect on your eating habits?
Having ice cream after a long day, definitely makes me feel better at the end of the day. But I don't think the stress has too much influence on my diet.
Okay, all right. So, do you live with anyone at home?
I am currently living with my boyfriend.
All right. Is there any type of exercise going on throughout all these busy days of yours?
I used to run on the treadmill before I accumulated all my jobs, but now I don't really find the time.
All right. Does anyone in your family have high cholesterol as well?
My dad is on medication for high cholesterol, and a lot of his siblings have high cholesterol.
So, it's kind of in the family?
Oh yes.
That is the end of Part A. Now look at Part B.